Hi guys, so today I'm here to film a bit of a more important and deeper video. I am back in Seattle at the moment. I am home for winter break. In honor of the new year of 2018 rolling around, I wanted to film this video and talk about how 2017 really wrapped up for me and what I've learned. To be honest with you guys, I filmed this video 4 times. I literally had to change shirts in the process, even because I spilled water all over myself. The second time it was completely out of focus, so I think I'll be able to summarize it a bit better than I was the previous times. But just in case, I have my notes. I always like being really open with you guys and sharing what's going on in my life because I know that it can always help someone else, as like I've seen happen to me through watching other people's videos. So I really wanted to put this out there because I've seen a lot of people struggling with the same problems that I have and talking about the same issues. To begin, I just want to like talk about how 2017 really went for me. Graduating was a big thing this year, so of course, no matter what year it is, if you're graduating high school and moving on to college or going to a new place the next fall, it's going to be a crazy year for you. Sorry, the sun is also setting. That's how long I've been trying to like film this video. I graduated high school, I moved to college, went through prom, all those fun high school things, had a great summer. It went by in the blink of an eye. I traveled a lot with Jordan around Washington, and it was really fun. But I also had some really low lows in 2017 that really taught me a lot. Also made things kind of harder throughout the year. So, I mean, briefly, I lost both my grandparents in pretty much 2017. My grandma passed in December of 2016 and my grandpa in April of 2017. They're both dealing with dementia, and it was a very hard thing to watch two people go through, especially when it's your own family. It's just kind of the premise of like 2017 and like my feelings throughout the year. And you know, things were kind of harder for me just because I had a rocky year to begin with. And in August, I drove to California to go to college. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and then I went out of state to a small private college in Thousand Oaks, California. I was able to adjust and transition into my new life, and all that encompasses pretty quickly. Like, I definitely by like the second month I was doing better. You know, I was in with my routine of classes and all of that, so I was doing pretty well. I really enjoyed it the first couple of months. I made really good friends with my roommates and I love them so much. I traveled around like LA and the area, north and south, and it was really fun. But I always felt like a tourist. It felt kind of weird. Things got harder when I started traveling back and forth between Seattle and Thousand Oaks, you know, and I'd come home to see my family and all of that. First time I came home was in October. I hadn't been home yet. It was mid-October and I had to come back for my grandparents' funeral. So as I said, like, those events continued all through 2017 pretty much for me. Back to school 2 weeks later, came back for Thanksgiving, went back to school 2-3 weeks later, came back, and now I'm here for Christmas break. And it worked out really well that I was able to come back and forth like that, with like, you know, a shorter break compared to the first like 2 months of like isolation being there until I came back in October. But I had a lot of personal changes around that time after October, and I could really see myself changing, and that's when I knew kind of something was up, and like I needed to figure out like what was going on with me. It was strange that I had adjusted and was having fun in the beginning and then felt as I was going completely backwards. And obviously I was homesick, and that's completely like acceptable and that's normal. But I really saw myself change a lot from what I usually was, and not in the most positive ways. I became a lot less social, very unhappy. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety that I had never dealt with before. I just felt incredibly depressed, and I started questioning, like, is this where I'm meant to be? You know, it's been like all like sunshine and rainbows in the beginning. It's super cool to be in LA. Like, it just felt like a long vacation. But as I really settled into it, I was like, okay, this is it. Like, kind of the fun stage is over. Like, I'm at school now. I'm not, like, I'm studying harder, you know, like, I'm more into my classes. I don't have as much time to, like, get out and feel like I'm traveling around LA rather than being in college. I didn't know where my life was going at all, and I'm usually such a driven and passionate person, and I felt like I'd lost all of the qualities, like, in myself that I really enjoyed. Another thing that really made it hard for me to figure out if I was really where I meant to be, and whether I was just going through the, like, first semester blues, or if I was actually, you know, like, realizing things that I didn't think to question before, or really wasn't checking in with myself, and then all these things happened. To watch other people through social media, especially other people from my class or the people I knew that were in college in California and other just out-of-state colleges, and they just looked like they were thriving. They were having so much fun. To see that through social media, I just constantly was like, you know, why me? Like, why am I dealing with such troubles when it seems like everyone else is doing fine? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, why am I not succeeding like they are in this like transition that college gives you? I began to realize that the answer is not within them or anyone else. Nobody else can give me the answer. Looking at these people who, like, I think they're thriving and they're doing great, that was very toxic for me. I just had to completely log out of like my Instagram, my personal one, for a bit, where I was following all those people that I knew. And I talked to my close friends. I asked them, I was like, are you guys doing well? Like, do you like your college? Like, I have friends who don't like their college and, you know, they're going through a hard time. And I have friends that do like their college and they're just having so much fun. Asked them, and I was like, do you guys like your college? Like, it seems like you're doing really well and you're having a lot of fun, like, judging by your photos and all of that. And they're like, well, I like where I am, but I'm also really nervous and scared and I don't really like what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. The point was that, like, photos, especially through social media, are such an inaccurate display of how someone's really doing. And when I told them, I was like, well, I'm so unhappy and I can't stand seeing these people doing so well and wondering, like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I not equivalent to that? And they were like, well, Keely, like, it looks like you're doing so well through your photos too. Like, it looks like you're having the best time. And I looked at, like, my Instagram and all that, and I was just like, wow, this is really an inaccurate display of my life and, like, what's really going on. And so then, if that's about my own Instagram and my own photos, then, like, that's, like, that could be anyone's. And I need to, like, step back from thinking that everybody else is thriving and that there's something wrong with me. I really cleansed all the, like, toxic things that were clouding my judgment on, like, what I need to do to make myself happy again. I did that. I was able to start listening to really myself and, like, where my real problems were coming from. Later on, I had talked to my roommates about it and they're like, well, do you want to transfer? Like, are you unhappy being so far from home? Because pretty much everyone at my school, like, lives within a couple hours. It's mainly in-state people. And so it's very strange to be an out-of-state person sometimes. And they were like, I can understand, like, being far from home. Like, I can understand if you want to go back. And at first I was like, no, that's not the answer. Like, I just need to, like, change, like, some things myself, like, just make a better routine. But by, like, not considering all my options, I was only making it worse on myself. And the reason I didn't consider transferring was because I think that people will think that I'm weak for leaving and not continuing this journey, and not, like, well, if other people are doing well, then, like, I can do it well too. And, you know, just what everyone else will think of my decision and not me, and how it will, like, literally affect me. Really learned that going into the new year, I need to have acceptance for what I'm dealing with and approach the idea of change differently. I think because I had so many changes in 2017, at the time I got to school, I was like, okay, I'm, like, planting myself right here. I don't want any more change. I just want this to go smoothly, go to classes, have fun, that's it. Like, I don't want to think about, you know, making any more big decisions. That's all 2017 was about, was making decisions. Hard, but you have to learn to embrace change. And basically, like, the main point of this video and, like, what's really going on with me right now is that, brutally honest, like, I'm not happy and I'm not living my best life. And, like, as 2018 has come about, like, I can really feel that turning around. But that's because I finally figured out what I need for me, and I've accepted that. I decided that I'm going to pursue transferring to a new university back home in Seattle. And like I said, like, I figured people would think I'm really weak. Like, I thought I was being weak. I was always a really strong person before, and I still am, just, like, life is different. It's not as easy as it was in high school. Transferring back somewhere closer to home, I'll be able to spend more time with my family. I really value that, and I don't want to go back to the routine of high school where I lived at home, I was with my family all the time, because I still want to grow. Like, I still love being in college and learning and having a major. Like, I think all of that is really cool, and I'm really excited to see where that takes me with internships and works and opportunities and traveling abroad. But I think being home will put me in a better mindset and confidence to grow. The only feelings of, like, sadness and anxiety I deal with now are, like, what's for the future, because it's hard to fully accept change, but I'm getting myself comfortable with that idea. And I want you guys to know, like, I've heard so many people who, I have friends who have already started the transfer decision, and some people consider it and some people don't. And I'm not saying like jump to the decision of transferring, but I really want to put importance on checking in with yourself. Main thing that I'm trying to show is that when it comes down to your happiness, listen to yourself and not other people, and really follow your intuition. Like, if I listened to what the voices of other people I thought were telling me, like, I wouldn't be considered transferring. I'd be forcing myself to figure out how to make this better for me. But sometimes it's not worth it being so unhappy. When I really started considering the transfer, and I tuned out every voice inside my head of like, well, what will other people think? That just, I had to stop, because it doesn't matter what other people think. And I truly was listening to my intuition and my heart and what felt right, and that's coming home. Learned that when I'm faced with a problem, you know, give it all you've got. Like, you know, I tried to change like my daily routine and all of that, but if things aren't turning around for you, don't waste your time being unhappy, and really follow your intuition and like follow what your heart tells you, and that will never fail you. There's no wrong decision, and if you're following the one that your heart really likes and it's really pointing you to, you know, I truly just believe like that's where you belong. Like, you can listen to the voices in your head that are shaped by like society and your friends and your family and maybe those negative influences, or you can listen to your heart and your own choices. The end lesson that I've learned in 2017 is do what you have to do to be happy, no matter what that encompasses. I wish you guys a happy new year and all the luck and love in 2018, and I hope that everybody has the year that they want and the year that they've been hoping for, with all of the like positivity and motivation, and just like the greatest year yet. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and I will see you guys later.